What's going on, y'all? 805 Just here, Just 805, showing love and representing all of Ventura County, specifically, of course, my birthplace, Ventura, California, and all the surrounding cities, Oxnard, Satacoy, Camarillo, Thousand Oaks, Ojai, everybody in the 805 and all my 805ers. Shout out to y'all. Much love. Let's get right into the video. Happy Monday, first of all. Over the weekend, maybe it was Friday. I could be wrong. Friday or sometime this weekend, Kendrick Lamar, government name Kendrick Lamar Duckworth, pretty much the mayor of Compton, Compton, California. I would say the probably most popular and most relevant representative as far as artistry goes and entertainment out of Compton, the CPT, outside of like Serena Williams and Venus Williams. Kendrick dropped a new album, GNX. Album cover has Kendrick leaning on I think it's an 87 GNX. For those who are unaware, for those who may not, be into cars, I'm really into old school cars. That's definitely a passion of mine, not a hobby, because I don't have one to call my own yet. But one of these days, when I got some more garage room, I definitely hope to add a classic to the collection. But on the cover, Kendrick is leaning on a '87 GNX. It's basically just a Regal. It's a Buick Regal, but it's like a high end, or was in '87 the high end version of a Buick Regal. So it's a Buick Regal Grand National, Buick Regal GNX. I don't remember the car it beat, but I want to say back then when it first came out, it was super impressive. And in a race, it beat like something crazy, like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, and that's what really put the car on the map. Now, for those of us who live in California, for those of us who have been around lowrider culture, been around low-lows, a Regal, that's kind of like a hood classic. Like, you see Regals around the hood, you see Regals around the neighborhood and at lowrider shows on a regular basis. But a GNX is gonna cost you some money. A GNX in good condition, at 87, still run you over $100,000, $100K for a GNX. So anyway, Kendrick Lamar is leaning on that car in the on the cover art. On the cover, I think the album is 12 tracks, if I'm not mistaken, 12 or 13, something like that. I did listen to it. I haven't really sat down and really digested it, so to say. But my first impression is, first off, the beats are crazy. I know DJ Mustard has one or two beats on there. Right off the bat, when it comes to beats, to me, it really reminds me of those early 2000s, mid 2000s, like beats that E40 kind of used to rap over, that some of the Bay Area guys used to rap over, some of those songs that were real popular. So that the bounce in the beat and some of the sound effects and things like that kind of remind me of that. And I think Kendrick was going for that. I can't speak for him, but just as, someone who's just a casual listener on this one, because I will say, the older I get, y'all know me, I've said it many times before, the type of rap that I enjoy the most, the kind of rap and the hip hop culture that I was raised on. The older I get, the more I find myself listening to less rap, or just listening to the same rap that I've listened to, all these years. I consider myself an old soul. I prefer old school music. So I find myself listening to a lot more of that, a lot more of music from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, a little bit 90s, a little bit of 90s R&B, Tony, and, artists and groups like that. But I had to check this out because, it's Kendrick. K-Dot, he's performing at the Super Bowl in 2025. So the next Super Bowl he'll be performing. And of course, he just came off a crazy summer, basically destroying, Drake and a few other rappers in a battle, in a real lyrical fight that I think most people would agree he won. So, I checked it out. The beats were off the chain for the most part. You could tell the production value was very high. The one thing my big takeaway, and y'all probably see I've added a few things, you know what I'm saying, to the set here. I've added a few decorations that celebrate our Dodgers winning the World Series a couple weeks ago. So shout out to all the Big Blue fans out there. Shout out to Dodger Nation and all the fans of the Dodgers, especially here in Southern California. Hey, we made it happen, and we're still celebrating. I'm still on a high from the Dodgers winning the World Series, but you could almost tell that he kind of made this. I mean, obviously Kendrick is from he's from LA, you know, he's from Compton, but it's almost like it's almost like he put this out because the Dodgers won. Now, I'm not saying Kendrick, you know, put out this album just because the Dodgers won the World Series, but for those of you who watch baseball or even just paid a little bit of attention to the World Series between the Dodgers and the Yankees, you know, the Dodgers theme song for the postseason really was Not Like Us, if you think about it. I don't know what players used it specifically, but I say more than one player on the Dodgers used "Not Like Us" as a walk-up song. You know, for those of you who don't watch baseball, walk-up song is basically, you know, when a batter is stepping up to the plate, you know, he has his own theme song, or they have their own, you know, song that they like, or a classic song that they play when they're walking up to the plate, right? Not Like Us was played a lot. They played it at the Dodgers Victory Parade. They played it in Dodger Stadium. So Kendrick was getting a lot of love from not only the Dodgers, but Dodgers players and us, you know, those of us who are fans of the Dodgers. And then he on the album, he has a song called Dodger Blue. Not only does he have a song called Dodger Blue on the album, he has maybe, I think 2 for sure, but maybe even 3 songs. And before the song begins, it's a female mariachi singer, and this is the same lady. Now, I don't know if he sampled it or, you know, got it straight from the World Series, but this lady sang before, I think it was World Series Game 1. It might have been a few other games as well, but for sure, this Latina mariachi singer, she sang before Game 1 of the World Series, and he has her featured on this album. You got the guitar playing, and she's singing, and she got vocals, got a beautiful voice. So for her to be on the album doing her thing, then you got a song called Dodger Blue. It's like, all right, I'm not saying that the Dodgers, you know, motivated Kendrick to put this out, because we know Kendrick is performing at the Super Bowl. He really don't got to put no music out right now. He could just chill and coast all the way to the Super Bowl, which is in February, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think the Super Bowl's in February, like the first or second week in February. He can chill and coast to the Super Bowl and then put an album or put something out after, you know, to make some money and get some good sales, because, of course, you know, you're on the biggest stage kind of in the world when the Super Bowl is happening. But he didn't do that. He put an album out on a random either Friday or Saturday over this past weekend, and the Dodgers are not responsible for him putting out this album, but I'm sure they motivated him the same way the Dodgers motivated me. You know what I'm saying? Like, anytime your team wins something big like the World Series or the Super Bowl or, you know, NBA Finals, it kind of just gasses you up. It kind of puts a battery in your back. So for me, just all the signs are there. You got the mariachi singer. You got a song called Dodger Blue. Like, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to the Dodgers. And I think that was just dope of Kendrick to do that. Y'all know me. I'm old school. I don't stream music. I don't use Apple Music. I don't use Spotify, Pandora, any of that. I still buy my songs and albums off iTunes. So my thought is this. One of these days, maybe tomorrow, I'll sit with the album and actually go, you know, track by track to find out the ones that I like, and then I'll actually purchase the songs off iTunes, because I haven't bought any yet. I have the album on my wish list, and I'm going to go through and, you know, find the ones that I like. But yeah, right off the bat, from just the samplers that I heard on iTunes, the beats sound crazy. I know there's a Luther sample on there. There's a Pac sample. What else? I think he sampled an 80s freestyle song. I gotta remember which one it is. It's a classic though. But anyway, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I did tell people on Twitter, and I'm, for those who can hear and see me, understand this. More Kendrick work is coming. This album, it's doing what it's doing. It's got the streets hot right now. The West Coast is in a stir because of it. But listen, he's got more work coming. This is not it. So I don't know if he's dropping a whole nother album before the Super Bowl, but this is not the only one. I think I said on Twitter, this is only a teaser. This is just something light. So we'll see what happens next. But for now, Kendrick has presented GNX to the West Coast and to the world. And, obviously it's going viral. So once again, I want to thank y'all for being subscribed to the channel. Thank you for the views, the likes, the comments. Y'all are the greatest. And for those who are not subscribed, if you're new here, hey, you don't have to subscribe, but if you do, hey, I really appreciate it. We have a good time here. And as always, y'all, peace. What's going on, y'all? 805 Just here, Just 805. Real quick, I just want to say thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for liking the videos. Thank you for your comments. I greatly appreciate it. And let's continue to have a good time, y'all. Thank you and peace.